Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Look, in the past I've never really been a fan of this whole impeachment talk surrounding Joe Biden. I've had a couple issues with it, namely evidence. There's a whole lot of circumstantial evidence that's certainly pointing towards corrupt deals and crimes committed by the Biden crime family, absolutely, but without an actual smoking gun. The idea that you're going to get 60 votes in the Senate to impeach Joe Biden just seems unrealistic. Failing to impeach Joe Biden would probably add to his popularity, similar to how it did with Donald Trump. The second element, of course, Kamala Harris is the other option. Not exactly a good idea, but lately, the mounting evidence and the whistleblower claims are kind of taking this whole thing to another level. If some of this information turns out to be credible, if irrefutable evidence is to be presented on some of these claims, I think Joe Biden is literally going to get impeached. And I think the Democrats in the Senate might actually vote to impeach President Joe Biden because, let's be real, we know the numbers. Even Democrats don't want Joe Biden to run again. Let me show you guys what's going on, another explosive bombshell surrounding the Bidens. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so a quick little timeline. 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5, 3 weeks ago, the former Obama stenographer who worked directly under Joe Biden accused Joe Biden of foul play.
Burisma was the direct beneficiary of that fracking. And that's what I recorded. And that's in a White House transcript. I'm the witness that says Jake Sullivan is the guy who said it, and he should be investigated because at the time, Hunter Biden was on the board of Burisma, and Joe Biden is bringing American taxpayer money to enrich that company and himself and his family. Joe Biden is a criminal. He was conducting malfeasance in office to enrich his family. Jake Sullivan is a conspirator in that, and there's more Obama officials involved in it, I believe.
Then former CIA Director Mike Morell testified in front of Congress, pointing the finger directly at Anthony Blinken for organizing a corrupt, misleading propaganda scheme to influence the previous election. Those two bombshells happened in the last 2 weeks. Then today, as I'm recording this video, yesterday as you're watching the video, this drops.
And Jillian, this whistleblower, we don't know anything about them. We don't know anything about the strength of their claim other than what Comer and Grassley are telling us, but he's basically saying that he thinks either the Justice Department or the Federal Bureau of Investigation have an FD 1023 form that outlines the following. I'm going to read straight from this letter that describes an alleged criminal scheme involving then Vice President Biden and a foreign national relating to the exchange of money for policy decisions. It has been alleged that the document includes a precise description of how the alleged criminal scheme was employed as well as its purpose. The two signers of that letter that went to Merrick Garland and Christopher Wray are James Comer and Chuck Grassley.
The GOP Oversight Committee just released this on Twitter. Representative James Comer and Chuck Grassley reveal the existence of an FBI record alleging that then Vice President Biden engaged in a bribery scheme with a foreign national. According to a whistleblower, this record details an alleged arrangement involving an exchange of money for policy decisions. Read the joint letter in Chairman Comer's subpoena. Via electronic transmission, the Honorable Merrick Garland, Attorney General at the Department of Justice, the Honorable Christopher Wray, Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Dear Attorney General Garland and Director Wray, we have received legally protected and highly credible unclassified whistleblower disclosures. Based on those disclosures, it has come to our attention that the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation possess an unclassified FD 1023 form that describes an alleged criminal scheme involving then Vice President Biden and foreign nationals relating to the exchange of money for policy decisions. It has been alleged that the document includes a precise description of how the alleged criminal scheme was employed as well as its purpose. Based on the alleged specificity within the document, it would appear that the DOJ and the FBI have enough information to determine the truth and accuracy of the information contained with it. However, it remains unclear what steps, if any, were taken to investigate the matter. The significant public interest in assessing the FBI's response to this information, as well as growing concern about the DOJ and the FBI's track record of allowing political bias to infect their decision-making process, necessitate exacting congressional oversight. The DOJ and the FBI appear to have valued valuable, verifiable information that you have failed to disclose to the American people. Therefore, Congress will proceed to conduct an independent and objective review of this matter, free from those agencies' influences. So supposedly, there's an unclassified FBI document that alleges with proof that Joe Biden, then Vice President Joe Biden, as he was acting in office, was essentially selling his office, I guess you could say, accepting bribes for favorable policy. Now that doesn't seem so far-fetched. In fact, it seems right in line with everything that we have seen involving Hunter Biden, Jim Biden, Joe Biden, the big guy, all working together to sell their influence, their connection to the Obama administration abroad. Not exactly far-fetched, especially considering Joe Biden has basically admitted to his corruption openly in his involvement in Ukraine.
I said, you're not getting the billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a... got fired.
The man literally did what Democrats falsely impeached Donald Trump over, and he admitted that he did it, withholding federal aid to Ukraine, essentially blackmailing them so he could get a Ukrainian prosecutor fired who was investigating his son. Now I wonder why he'd do that. The White House must be panicking right now, and frankly I think the Democrats are watching behind the tree like that famous meme, plotting, getting ready. Maybe this is their moment to get rid of Joe Biden, because the only thing that's been missing here is irrefutable evidence, and it's possible, at least they're alleging. The whistleblower who identified this document is alleging that this is in fact evidence that Joe Biden was involved in a criminal political bribery scheme. Impeachment is saved specifically for high crimes and misdemeanors. While being an active vice president and selling preferential policy to the highest bidder abroad, that seems like a criminal bribery scheme. That seems like a high crime. If credible evidence is to be released here, then it is absolutely time to impeach. To not impeach would be unacceptable. It would be time for Joe Biden to face trial, even if that happens to be an impeachment trial, because it's time for people to know what's going on. There are so many people who simply see Joe as, oh, you know, old sleepy Joe. He's just that guy from Delaware who served in the Obama administration. Most people don't know about Tara Reade, a name that the Democrats are happy people have forgotten. Well, I have not forgotten. Most people are unaware of Joe Biden's documents scandal. They're unaware of his connection to his son Hunter Biden's business dealings. They're unaware of Anthony Blinken's little shadow behind the scenes, election interference in relation to the Hunter Biden laptop story. It's time to make a public spectacle, just like the Democrats did. It's time to bring Tony Bobolinsky to testify in front of the American people. The former White House stenographer, Mike Morell, this most recent whistleblower, if he's credible, it's time to show the difference between a Democrat impeachment and a Republican impeachment. They investigated Donald Trump based on nothing. They impeached him based on nothing. They falsified evidence. They did everything for vindictive, partisan reasons. Well, I could pretty much assure you that a Joe Biden impeachment would be anything but political, because the evidence and the whistleblower testimony continues to pile up. This right here might be the smoking gun. It might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I don't want to engage in hopium and copium here, just like the Democrats do. Oh, this time it's the smoking gun, this time it's the smoking gun. In my opinion, we've already had many smoking guns, but this one might be of a completely different breed. And maybe, just maybe, the establishment has had this in their back pocket the entire time, and they were just waiting for the next election season to hit so they could use it to take down Joe Biden. We'll have to see what happens. We'll reserve our judgment until all the information and all the facts are released to the American people. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. You know that we'd love to have you here, of course. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.